So we're going to be working with a carrot to do these julienne bâtonnets. Carrot's a round veg, you see here. Kind of rolls all over the place. What I want to do is create a stable base so it doesn't roll around all over the place. I'm going to do the bâtonnet first. So what I want to do is, actually I want to take a 1/4 of an inch slice right now to create my stable base. And I sit it on top of that flat surface so it doesn't rock all over the place. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to take 1/4 inch slices. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack them. It's a process called stacking. So you can see here, allows you to work with a lot more product at once instead of taking one sliver at a time and then cutting that into your bâtonnet. And then I'm going to come across, again, another 1/4 of an inch. See my fingers, I don't have them protruding out. My thumb's not sticking out. And I have a bâtonnet. Things cook at different rates. If you have all uniform pieces of product and you're cooking, everything's going to cook at the same time. So if I did a root vegetable blend on my chef features station, and I did carrots, turnip, parsnips, and I did bâtonnet, I'd all want them to be uniform because whether I saute them, roast them, or whatever cooking process I use, I want them to all cook at the same time. Because if I had a bâtonnet that looked like that, which would be pretty bad, and a good one that looked like this, what do you think is going to cook faster? This guy, right? Now I'm going to take that 1/4 of an inch, and I'm actually going to come across another 1/4 of an inch, and what that's going to give us is, it's going to give us a small dice. As you can see there. The julienne, which is a little bit smaller, it's done by going down another 1/4 inch. So it's going to be 1/8 of an inch. Do a little julienne. So I'm planking again, or stacking. And I'm going to just come across about 1/8 of an inch. Get a little julienne. From the julienne, you can get a brunoise just by coming across another 1/8 of an inch. You see the rocking motion, the fingers. We want to pay attention to that. And if you're not used to doing it, just practice for a while. Obviously, slice is almost like your julienne. Actually, a basic slice of anything is 1/8 of an inch. So if you're doing an onion, perhaps, you could possibly say you're julienning an onion because you're doing 1/8 of an inch thick slices. Now, an onion's a little bit big, so it's going to be kind of hard for me to come through it like that. So I might have to pick up my blade a little bit, but I'm not going to come over my knuckle, you'll see. And you'll notice that I'm cutting away from me. You always want to cut away from your body. You don't want to cut towards your body because, again, you could potentially injure yourself. Diagonal cut, all it is, it's a 45-degree slice, and you can do it on different thickness. You just keep coming across your product like that. You could even have it even smaller at a diagonal, like that. Or you could do what's called an oblique cut. It's taking diagonal cuts, but you actually create a different shape. So you start with a diagonal cut, and you can either move your product like this to create it, the oblique cut, or I like to use a carrot to kind of describe it, because an oblique cut is also known as a stew cut or a roll cut. I like roll cut because it better describes what you're doing. You take that diagonal cut, you roll your product, you cut again with another diagonal, roll your product, and again, you see here. Lozenge cut is your diamond cut. What you want to do is you want to cut strips, even strips of your product. And actually by taking diagonal cuts, even diagonal cuts, what you're going to get out of this are diamonds. As you can see here. That is actually called your lozenge cut. What I have here are some leaves of mint. And this cut's called the chiffonade. Chiffonade is it's like a thread-like or a shredded-like cut. It's a fine shredded-like cut. And it's used mostly with herbs, leafy vegetables such as spinach, lettuce, herbs such as mint, basil, things like that. What you want to do is you want to bunch up whatever leafy vegetables you're using or herbs. And I like to roll mine up like this and get it really bunched up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make really fine thread-like cuts. I'm just going to go right down the leaf. And as you can see here, it's pretty shredded like, right? Kind of like I just put it through a paper shredder. That's your chiffonade.